Hi everybody, my name is Nanika Edwards. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and today I'm going to be explaining to you why Chinese is easy. I'm going to give you one good reason that proves that Chinese is easy and very doable, definitely easier than a lot of other languages out there. So, one of the reasons why people think that Chinese is a very difficult language is because it's tonal. And yes, the tones do take some getting used to, but they're not as difficult as people think. First of all, if you are musically inclined and you have a musical ear, this is going to be a walk in the park for you. If you don't, it will still be doable. And when I think of my fellow Trinis, I think people like us, most certainly, I want to believe, can pick this language up pretty easily where the tones are concerned, because we actually do speak with a sing song. All right, we're used to speaking with a sing song. And if you want to understand what the tones are like, because the tones actually indicate meaning, like the tone of a word will tell you what the meaning is. So, for example, in Trinidad, we love to say eh, right? But depending on how you say the meaning could change. If somebody says to you, especially if it's a woman, eh, that means tell me more. This is juicy gossip. I would like to know more, right? By the way, you shouldn't be gossiping. If you're gossiping, that's a bad habit. Please cut it out. But once you hear some two women talking and you hear the breeze carrying this eh, something juicy is being discussed, right? But then you could also have somebody say, I go do for he. And before they even say, I go do for he, when you hear, you know that what's going to come out is some kind of Bajan declaration, right? You know that when somebody says, that is serious business going on, and somebody is going to feel the wrath of this person in some way or the other, right? So even in Trini talk, we do attach tonal quality to meaning, and we also do this in English as well. If you want to think of like how we have certain tones for certain question words, like let's say what he did, what, as in no, he didn't do that, or oh, he did what. It's just a simple question. But if you say he did what, that what means there's an extra layer of meaning to that what. It's like no, he did not do that. That was a crazy thing to do. So yeah, the tones are not difficult to learn. Yes, it takes some effort, but what does not take effort? Even just saying something is too hard, I don't want to do it. But, to me, that's kind of like wussy attitude. Just because something is difficult, you're not gonna try it, man. I don't know whatever. I remember when I was growing up, there were these T-shirts that people used to wear, like I conquered this and I conquered that. Let's say I conquered, I don't know, some big theme park ride that people tend to find is scary or something like that. I conquered this challenge or I conquered that challenge. Sometimes that's how we have to approach things. Like, take on the challenge. It will boost your confidence once you start making progress and once you actually master something that you may have thought was difficult. And then when you realize that it's not that difficult, it gives you the confidence to then go on to other challenges that are just as big or bigger. So yeah, that's it. The tonal aspect of Chinese is very doable, and we do actually have that to some extent in our Western languages, in the languages that we speak here in the West. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, thank you for giving it a thumbs up, and thank you for subscribing to my channel, and see you in the next video.